Chair calls Tim Sankey. Can you please state your name, whom you represent, and your position on the bill?
Yes, my name is Tim Sankey, and I'm from San Antonio, Texas, and I'm opposed to this bill. We all hold our mothers in great esteem. With Mother's Day coming up, many of you are mothers here on this committee, and for that I say Happy Mother's Day here in a few weeks. You're not alone. My mother is also somebody that's very special to me. She couldn't be here today because she's had some bouts with cancer, 2 knee surgeries, one that went bad that she's having to redo, and parathyroid surgery. So what if a law was passed that would prohibit you from seeing your mother, or as a son from seeing your mom? If this House bill was passed, this would be my case. I would not be able to go visit my mother in her home where she needs my help, whether it's mowing the grass, taking her to church, or taking her to her doctor appointments. You know, I know many of you might sit there and go, well, you know, Tim, you seem like a nice guy. I am a nice guy. And that's why we have amendments for people, you know, like you. However, the problem is you leave those amendments up to a political body, such as the Commissioner's Court, who, without any research or evidence, is passing out a flyer saying they all support such an ordinance. So that's basically just a carrot on the stick. You all are elected officials. They're supposed to make decisions based on fact and research, not on myths, not on hyperstance, not on what feels good. All the research tells us that these types of laws do not improve public safety. Some mother or someone on this committee once said that I hope you all will consider: you must have the courage to do what is right when it's easier to do wrong. You must help people, but for your help would be helpless. My mother is helpless, and she needs my assistance. Please have the courage to not vote this out of committee. A few things on this flyer I just handed out. As you turn that front page, that first map there is where my mother lives. There's only 2 entrances to her neighborhood. If this law was passed, I would not be able to enter that neighborhood. Thereby, I would be going through a child safety zone and would not be able to see my mother. The second map is one of the city of Bertram. Bertram is a small town near Burnett, about 1,300 people. As you can see from the orange or the pink circles there, nearly the entire city is off limits. You cannot go through the city of Bertram if you're on the registry. All the major thoroughfares are closed off.
Thank you for your testimony. Members, are there any questions? Chair recognizes Representative Schatzline.
Hi, Tim. So we did some research of our own. So you are a registered sex offender, is that correct?
Yes.
And how many accounts of aggravated assault of a sexual nature for a 12-year-old did you commit?
Mr. Schatzline, I'm not here to relive something that happened over 20 years ago.
Yeah, we
okay?
don't want to get into personal.
No, this is true.
This is not relevant to this ordinance, Mr. Schatzline.
It is.
We
No,
just
it's not.
want to stay
It is.
focused on the policy before us.
I've been married 16 years, Mr. Schatzline. I work for the federal government. Okay, that happened over 20 years ago.
Great.
Okay?
So
what we're
my
talking
point-
about is this
My
ordinance that
point
you're
saying
considering.
that is I don't know that the convenience of you being able to go in a neighborhood is our utmost importance as legislators, rather than protecting those who have been victims of sexual violence. Would you agree with that?
Mr. Schatzline, that's this right here, for everybody can't see, okay, is a map of Bertram. The entire city is off limits. That's not just an inconvenience, okay? That's a way of life. And being able to go to church, being able to work, being able to live, okay, being able to see family, okay, that's much more than just an inconvenience.
I think your decisions changed your way of life.
what,
We all do things when we're young. We make some mistakes, whether that's we dress up in a dress or whatever it might be.
Okay, enough. Thank you for your testimony. We're not getting into personal attacks today.
Oh, no
We
attacks
have a long
here,
list
Chairwoman.
We have a long list of witnesses, a full house today. We want to stay policy-focused on the issues before us and have respect for each other regardless of our views on legislation for or against. So thank you for your
I have
testimony.
one more question. I will be nice.
Chair recognizes Representative Tinderholt.
More of a statement than a question. I think your demeanor speaks volumes today. I think my peer asked you a valid question that you didn't want to answer, and that's okay. But your demeanor speaks absolute volumes, more than you could ever imagine to me. I'm not asking for you to answer me.
And-
I'm just going to leave it at that and shut off my
And
mic.
we will proceed to our next witness. Thank you.
I don't get a moment to respond to that?
No, you don't. Thank you, though.
Okay.
Thank you. We have a long calendar today.
Probably 'cause we've
Thank
been up
you.
here
Okay, enough. We're going to proceed. Chair calls